Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and blues guitarist and composer Michael Charles is with us. I looked back on my calendar. It was just a few months ago. It was just in May that we talked to you last when you were in Cedar Rapids for a show, and we have managed to entice you back to Eastern Iowa for a gig at CSPS Hall on December 13th. Michael, great to have you on the show again.
Dennis, always a pleasure to talk to you, and thanks for having me on your show again, man.
So you are just back from Australia. So anybody listening has already figured out that Michael Charles, while a Chicago-based blues artist now, member of the Chicago Blues Hall of Fame, and plays regularly at all the top clubs there, is from Australia. And last time we talked, you talked a little bit about growing up in Australia. But you just got back from a visit. How often do you get to go home and see family and friends and maybe play a little?
Well, I try to get back once a year just to kind of do both, actually. I go there and I'll usually be out there on tour, and then while I'm there, I'll say, well, I'm going to at least put another 5 days in at the end of the tour and spend some time with family. I've got a daughter, and my sister lives there, and I've got 2 grandkids there, so it gives me a few days to catch up with them, and then just be on my way again.
How were your shows down under?
They were fantastic. All sellout shows, so we had some really great response again, which is always a good feeling. And this time round, I actually had the opportunity to double bill with Dave Hull, which is, I'm sure you're aware, Dave Hull, one of the greatest slide players on the planet. And he's originally from Australia too. I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but when I left to move to the States, he was coming up in the music industry as Dave Hull as a solo artist. So we never really had the opportunity to shake hands or rub shoulders or share a stage. So it's taken like 37 years or something, but we finally did it, and it was a fun time.
Are the audiences different at home than they are in the States?
I tell it, that's a real common question, and I tell everybody, whether it's an interview here in the US or Australia or Canada, a good audience is a good audience, and that's the way that I can describe it. And I don't think it differs much. We're all people, and we all either like something or we don't.
When you first got to Chicago, you came for a gig at Buddy Guy's club, Legends, and ended up staying and going on tour and continuing to be on the road around the country as well as in Chicago. Now, I just happened to read a profile about Buddy Guy in Rolling Stone magazine. Really nice article about him and about how he still, many nights, it's not... that club doesn't just have his name on it. Many nights, if you walk in there, whether he's scheduled or not, you look carefully, there'll be a slim African-American man with a really cool hat sitting at the bar nursing a scotch, and it's probably Buddy.
Yes, and he's got his spot where he sits all the time. And the beautiful thing about that is that he will just get up on stage and join whoever's playing occasionally. And if you buy his merch there, he's willing to talk to you and willing to sign CDs and albums or whatever you want to sign and want signed. And he's just a real gentleman. He's a great guy and obviously very passionate in what he does for spending all that time there.
He must have been a great influence and mentor to you when you first arrived in the States.
Can't really find the right words sometimes, because it was like I got invited to come to Chicago, and the invitation came from Buddy Guy and his management and so forth. And it was a 2-week stint. And those 2 weeks went by so fast. So by the time I got back to Australia, I kind of felt like it was unfinished business. I needed to finish what I started there. So I pretty much turned around, bought another ticket, and came back to the US, and the rest is history.
You've continued to spend a lot of time on the road. We were talking right before we rolled tape that you got caught in our recent blizzard in the Midwest and had a couple of shows that got canceled and ended up, but that worked out okay because you were pretty jet lagged from your trip from Australia.
Oh yeah, that jet lag is. We're talking 18-hour difference. It's a horrible lag you get. So it kind of worked out because I caught up with my sleep and got rid of the jet lag pretty quick. But I still don't like the idea that the shows get cancelled. I just think that's just it's not right, man. But we can't fight Mother Nature, right?
Yeah, winter in the Midwest is always a little chancy, but we will cross our fingers that everything will work out and the weather will be fine for the 13th of December. We've had we've had our share of winter weather already. It kind of feels like. So, Michael, as as I said, you have already kind of made a stop for this tour, although it's one continuous tour, I think, in your life. But the Guitar Music and Miles 2025, as 2025 runs down, how does the show ebb and flow? How does it change, especially when you are on the road so much? You not only want to keep things fresh for your audience, but you got to keep it fresh for yourself too.
Well, you do. That's the perfect. You couldn't have said it any more perfect than that. And keeping it fresh is the key to any show, I think. But I've been very lucky because I've been in the game for so long, and I've got so many songs. And sometimes I will just rotate songs, and while I'm on stage, I'll just say, "Man, I'm going to play this song. I haven't played it in a while." And I'll look at the band, and they kind of look at me and go, "Uh-oh, what's he gonna suggest to play?" But we normally just pull it up, and if there's a little spot in there that wasn't quite right, we'll fix it up in the green room for the following night or something, and make sure we get it right.
When we talked last, you were recording most of your shows with the idea of looking at doing an album in the near future. How's that project looking?
It's looking good. I've got a bunch of shows recorded, and in the new year, I'm going to run through them all and see which one I want to release as the live album. And so I'm still in the middle of recording stuff till the end of the year. And on the 1st of January, I've actually got a new album coming out, which is some new songs on there and some outtakes from albums that I've released in the past that I've recorded that the songs didn't quite make it onto the album, so they were just tossed aside. Some live cuts from previous shows. So we put this compilation together. So I've got that coming out on the 1st of January. So it'll be a great way to start a new year, bring it out on the 1st. And then I'll be starting on the live album. And also I want to bring out a brand new album with a bunch of new songs. So that's the goal for the year. In the new year's 3 albums. So
wow, that's a blistering pace for anybody.
Yeah, and in the middle of all that, keep touring, and so yeah. But I like to challenge myself, and hopefully I can pull it all off, and I think I will. I'm normally pretty good at keeping my word.
We talked about Buddy Guy a little bit. At the time that we are taping, we have just learned that the great Steve Cropper has passed away, the architect of so many great songs out of Memphis, member of Booker T and the MGs, Sam and Dave. Of course, he's the Play It Steve from the Blues Brothers album that we know so well. Is Steve an artist that you ever spent any time listening to?
You can't avoid listening to him. He's played on so many records, and his career has got such a span. It just spreads all over the place. So, and you just mentioned a lot of his credentials there. So you cannot avoid him. And yes, he's such an icon. And yes, I also did admire him for so many achievements, and obviously a great player too.
Yep, we'll not see that like again in our lifetimes, I'm sure. Michael Charles is going to be appearing at CSPS Hall in Cedar Rapids on December 13th. You can get tickets at cspshall.org. Michael, if people want to follow you online, what's a good way to do that? Website, social media? Where do you live online?
I always tell everybody the best place would be go on my website, which is michaelcharles.us, and any social media that's your favorite area to go to, whether it's Facebook or whether it's, whatever you want to go to, I've got all the links on my website, so it's a one-stop shop. And also all the information that you want to know about me or don't want to know about me, it's all on that website.
Michael, always a pleasure to chat with you. Looking forward to your show in Cedar Rapids on the 13th. Again, cspshall.org if you'd like tickets, and you can follow Michael online at michaelcharles.us. Travel safely, my friend, and looking forward to seeing you in Iowa soon.
I hope you can make it out. I hope the weather's good for us, and I'm ready to have a great time there. I love that venue. You
can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.